Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest White Pod. I'm Stephen Blaine, your host with White Labs, an internet marketing agency for e-commerce brands. I have Jennifer here with me today. Jennifer, feel free to introduce yourself and let our viewers know a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks so much for having me on today. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, and then also this opportunity to introduce my brand, Mountain Mat. We are a small company and we started 5 years ago, and our main product is outdoor mats, which sounds kind of boring, but they're actually really awesome. They're very versatile. They are made from recycled plastic, and that's one of our core ethos for our company is that we're trying to make products that are durable, long-lasting, and made from recycled materials. And people use our products, our outdoor mats, for camping and the campsite, or on their RV, they have the patio area. Also at the beach, at the picnic, they're waterproof, and basically wherever you want to have a place to sit that is protected from the dirt and ground.
Gotcha. How did you get into this business?
Well, it's kind of bizarre, I guess, but we're a military family. My husband was active duty, and so our family moved around a lot. I'm in the Air Force Reserves myself, but that's part-time. So we were living over in the Middle East in the country of Oman, Muscat, Oman, and it was a 3-year assignment. And when we were out there, we had these plastic mats, and they're similar to what we sell in Mountain Mat, but they're woven like on a loom, and they're colorful, and you can fold them up, and people would have them in the trunk of their cars, and they use them everywhere because it's a large beach there. So we would see them out at the beaches. We would see them up in the mountains when you're camping. It's very dusty and sandy, as you can imagine, in the Middle East. And that really, laying down a carpet like that, a plastic carpet or rug or mat, it really cuts down on the dirt that's flying around or that comes inside your tent and keeps things a lot cleaner. And then we saw them at the parks all the time. People would have huge family picnics, and they'd sit around and they'd be by the playground, and the kids would be off playing on the playground, or they'd come and run and sit down on the ground and just on these mats. And even if it was sandy or dirty, or if there were any ants or anything, the mat sat nicely on top of that. And so while we were over there, we of course had some, because we like to camp, especially beach camping is fun. And we kept saying, gosh, can't believe we don't have these in the US. And we kept saying that, like, man, these things are really fantastic. They're so versatile. So fast forward a few years later to 2008, and we moved back from the Middle East and landed in Georgia. And my kids were in school. Finally, everybody was in school, and I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a company. How do I do this? And I just started researching. And you start with a product, right? And you have to figure out, where can you have it made, and how much does it cost, and what does marketing look like, and how do you make a website? And I really had very little money to start with. I bootstrapped everything, which is fun for me. It's kind of like a puzzle, but it's hard. And I figured out how to make a website. I figured out how to order samples and decide what features we wanted with our mats. We had to make them a little different. We wanted things that were higher quality. Like I said, one of our core tenets is about recycled plastic and our earth and being more green, and thinking about basically rejecting the throwaway culture where people just buy, and I'm guilty of it too, obviously. Everyone is, but you buy the cheapest thing because it's so cheap, it doesn't matter. And you're like, even if this only works, a few times and it breaks, it doesn't matter because I'll just throw it away and buy a new one because it's so cheap. But that's super costly for two reasons. One, it actually costs a lot if you start adding it up. When you keep replacing those cheap items, you end up in the long run spending a lot more. But also it's costly for our environment because there's a manufacturing cost to that. Things that are made very cheaply and brought over, there's energy that's used. It adds up. And if you just keep doing that, and we all, like I said, no judgment because I do the same thing. I'm a sucker for this cheap stuff too, but we wanted to produce something that at least gave another option. And if you're looking for a quality product that lasts years instead of a season, and it has made out of recycled materials, that's what we wanted to do. So sourced all of that, planned the packaging, and here we are, like 5 years later, and it's been a grind. It has not been the rocket to success I imagined. I don't own a yacht yet, but there could always be tomorrow. Who knows? But I really actually just love owning my own company and figuring out the next step. There's always another step, something else that we can do to get out there and to promote our product and our business.
Awesome. Can you tell our audience some of the challenges you've had and then how you've overcome them?
Sure. Let's see here. Some of the challenges, well, so I said we started in 2000 and I think we all know what happened approximately a year later was the world ground to a halt, which turned out to be a challenge and a blessing for us because people started camping more. And so actually we saw a huge uptick in sales because people use our mats a lot when they're out in the camping world or RV world. Unfortunately, also what happened was all supply chains ground to a halt. And so we ran out of stock. And if you run out of stock, you are dead in the water. You stop registering hits on your website and you have to rebuild that momentum back up. So that was tough. It was, again, is every day you just figure out what you're going to work on. I think one of our biggest challenges has been this is our current big challenge, is social media. It's not real comfortable to me. I'm 47 and I wasn't raised with social media and everything else. And I don't even let our teenagers have social media accounts because I'm like that kind of mom, right? And so here's me like, I don't know how to edit this reel. Somebody show me how to. And my teenage daughter's like, yeah, mom, you won't let us have social media. So how would I know how to do that? And I'm like, oh, shoot, I guess I'll Google that. But since it's not anything that's not comfortable to you is going to be more of a struggle. So you push it off and you're like, well, I'll work on stuff that I like to work on or whatever. So that's our challenge now is going after the things. Now that we've established ourselves as a company, as we've established we have customers and a presence everywhere. Now it's going into those areas that I'm not comfortable with and learning them and just doing it. And so that's what I've been working on. I've been posting on our Instagram. Follow us, Mountain Mat USA. Everybody, if I could just get 10 more followers, I'd feel so successful. You have to have little goals when you're a business owner because it helps you keep going forward. When you start a company, I think everybody has this idea and you see these instant successes on the internet. I had this idea and now a year later, it's $100 million in revenue. You're like, wow, that sounds great. It's not like that. It's a grind and you have to have personal motivation as well as step goals that you can reach for that are achievable. You want to have that big dream of being uber successful, but you need to have the little steps so that you can show yourself that you're making successes every day or every week, and moving the needle a little bit at a time.
Gotcha. Great answer. So what makes you different or even better than your competition?
Well, that's a question that every business has to ask themselves is why are they relevant and what makes them different than anybody else? And our answer to that is quality and recycled materials. Our quality of our mats with the extra things we have stainless steel grommets, we have four-sided edging. I'm just listing our attributes, but these are things that other companies don't add in. So that's what makes us different is that we're providing that, I hate to say, but premium product. We're putting in the value added in there as well as the recycled materials. And that matters. Yeah.
So what are your great answer? What are your best selling products? I know you have multiple mats, right?
Yeah, we have several different sizes. Our original one that we started off with is still my personal favorite. It's the 5x7. And to me, it is the most versatile mat. I keep one, honest to God, in my trunk of my car at all times. And not because it's my product, but literally it is so useful. We bring it to the park. We bring it anywhere you need to just be outside. And you're like, where do I sit that's cleaner? I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's always wet. So it's nice to have that. But if I'm being honest, it's not our most popular product. And I think it's because people aren't used to it. Our most popular products by far are our extra large mats, the really big ones, 8 by 12, 8 by 16, and 8 by 20. They come in, they're big, they are folded, and they come in a really nice carry bag. And they're used by our RVing crowd. They look real nice. They don't have some silly stuff on it like Happy Camper Club or anything. That's fine. If you want to have that, that's fine. But ours are more kind of like understated. They're not making a statement by themselves other than they're just a nice muted design. And why they are liked so much is because there's so much dirt and debris at a campground. Even if you have a cement patio around, there's usually sand and dirt, and that gets tracked inside. By having that mat out on your patio, it keeps things a lot cleaner. You can just sweep it off and it comes off of your shoes before you walk inside. It's really a dramatic difference to have some sort of outdoor rug or mat from your camper. And also it kind of ties the patio look together. It's cozy. It feels soft on your feet when you're walking around in bare feet. And it's nice for the pets too.
Awesome. Perfect. So you mentioned social. What other activities are you doing to promote the business?
Well, so like I said, social media, which is a definite work in progress. But what I do is I write a blog, and it's on our website, and it's not really just about our mat. I mean, some of our blog posts are about mats and all that, but there's only so much one can really say about an outdoor mat.
Exactly.
But really, the blog is more focused on family activities, getting outdoors, camping tips, and things like that. Like we just did one for women who want to camp solo, just some safety tips to think about and how to do it.
Good.
And, we try to provide value added for our readers. It's great if they are like, we love this, I think I'll buy a mat. That would be great. But really, it's just about providing an incentive to people. Because again, we're about healthy lifestyle, getting outdoors, loving our earth, just being part of the environment where you're just breathing fresh air and making connections with other people. So that's what we try to do we just did one on hosting a family reunion at a campground, which sounds kind of crazy, but actually it's awesome. Get the kids out there and stuff, get them off the devices.
I could see that. So what's your future plan with Mountain Mat and yourself?
Okay, well, our future plans are getting into brick and mortar stores. We're only affiliated with a couple of smaller conversion van companies, like niche markets like that.
Gotcha.
So right now we're just on Amazon and on our own website, but moving forward, we're actually working with AFES, which is the military main retail store that's on the bases. So we're working with them since we're registered as a veteran-owned company. That gives us kind of an in over there as well. So hopefully in the future we get over there, and then just continuing to, just like any business, just continuing to grow, but making mindful choices as we go and making sure that we're providing a quality product and we don't jump the shark, so to speak, where you've got so many orders you can't fulfill them or provide the right quality and or good customer service, but just steady growth is our goal.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for coming on. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you want our viewers to know about you and Mountain Mat before I go?
I would like to say thank you to every viewer who has intentionally purchased from a small company or a local company or a small business, because those dollars make a difference, especially to the small companies out there. And so I want to say thank you, because we've had a lot of people support us in our growing years in the beginning, specifically because they like supporting small companies. And I really appreciate that.
And veteran owned, of course. Gotta mention
and
that.
veteran owned. That's right.
Both you and your husband. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on, and have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.